Madam Speaker, welcome to The Issue Is.
Well, I'm happy to be here.
Dianne Feinstein, I know there's like work friends and there's friends.
Yes.
She was both for you.
Yeah.
Can you talk about what she meant to you personally?
Well, Dianne Feinstein was an iconic figure in San Francisco and then in the state. And she was really not political, not partisan in any way. She just knew what she believed in, what she wanted to get done. We were, shall we say, in different places on the political spectrum, but we were neighbors across the street. So we were
literally neighbors across the street.
Literally neighbors across the street. I saw her beautiful hydrangeas that she took great pride in, and then we'd see her walk the dog by the house. So we had a lot of interaction. But nonetheless, to get just to who she is, she was very values-based, very sincere, and as I say, not political, although I don't think political is, I think that's a compliment too.
Right.
Just over the years as mayor and then as United States Senator, she made us proud every day. She, I've said it today, that she was mayor so long and so powerfully that when she was no longer mayor, children said, when other men were running for office, can a man be mayor of San Francisco?
Right. Yeah. And you describe her as the forever mayor of San Francisco.
Forever mayor of San Francisco.
Yeah.
If you were to talk to Gavin Newsom, our governor, when he became mayor, they would have to get ready for every time she came home because she would have, there's graffiti on a trash can or the street isn't clean, whatever it happened to be, she was forever mayor.
What do you think is the most important lesson about leadership that we can learn from her life?
Well, from her life, and really it's a lesson for everyone. Know your why. Know why you are there. What is your purpose in doing this? Because it's very difficult. It's a big sacrifice in terms of time and family and the rest. But if you know your why and all the attacks you're going to take, it's worth it.
What's your why?
My why are the children. I have my husband and I, Paul, we have 5 children. And just the idea that 1 in 5 children in America went to sleep hungry at night or lived in poverty, it just, again, I just couldn't, it just provoked, it got me from the kitchen to the Congress.
Right.
Because it was, what can we do about that for the children, always for the children. That was my why.
Obviously, this has been an extraordinary week in politics.
Yeah.
Kevin McCarthy says that you essentially broke a promise to him to keep Democrats with him if there was a vote against him. Is that not true? Talk to us about what happened with him.
No, I have no promise to him. Our Democratic members made their decision. They made a decision that, first of all, let's just say how this works.
Yeah.
Each party elects its speaker. You win the majority, you nominate the speaker, and you, from your party, elect the speaker. In all the years I've been there, 36 years, I remember one person crossing over to vote for the other party, and then he changed parties right at the same time. But it doesn't happen. So I don't think he could possibly have said that. He may have said he was disappointed that he lost. He thought there could be some protection of the institution.
Yeah.
But our members were very concerned about January 6th because he said the president was responsible and then he went and kissed his ring. They were concerned about agreeing to a debt ceiling agreement on which we would then proceed with our appropriations, and he walked away from that. They were concerned about the impeachment of the president. There was no respect for his respect for the institution. In other words, and my thing was always the integrity of the institution is something that's very important to me. But if you don't respect the institution, then don't expect us to bail you out.
What do you make of his move to move you out of your office? Essentially, the first thing that happens,
well,
they move you out of your office.
I don't know if he did or the new, whoever did it. That's so incidental. I'm more concerned about the fact that they're trying to cut 30% out of our food for children and women, infant and children. I'm more concerned they want to take 70 to 80% out of what we're doing for LIHEAP, low-income energy for mostly low-income seniors. That's what I'm concerned about. The office means nothing to me.
How would you real succinctly describe Kevin McCarthy's legacy as Speaker?
The incredibly shrinking speakership. He did that to win the votes, took 15 votes, and obviously he was making promises along the way that were very hard. Every card that was played against him, he had dealt to his opponents. But I'm not here, I don't spend a whole lot of time talking about him or the former occupant of the White House. What we talk about is our children, our purpose, what we have to do to win, and to try to do so in a way that is unifying for our country. We just can't be dividing all the time. We have to be unifying for our country, and again, to try to find bipartisanship, transparency, accountability. That's why we go to Congress.
And last question on this, are you concerned about what happens next? Where do you think it goes from here? Are you concerned about funding the government, funding Ukraine, everything else that comes next? Could it be worse for Democrats now?
What do you mean worse for Democrats?
Meaning,
it isn't our responsibility to elect the Speaker of the House.
Right.
So it isn't, whatever happens is maybe worse, but it isn't, it's of their own making. People are saying, well, why don't the Democrats vote for? That's not how it works.
Right.
They win, they choose but they have to be able to choose, because say you thought it was okay to say, well, there should have been 10 Democrats to vote. Do you know how long that would last?
Yeah.
Not 10 days.
Right.
Then they'd say, well, we don't want a speaker who has somebody from the other side, nor would I ever want to be speaker with Republican votes. Well, that's not what this is. It's not about a person in power. It's about the speakership, the second in line to the president, important power as a legislator. And your party has won the election. Your party chooses the speaker. The Ukraine situation is something that is so irresponsible for them to walk away from. The Ukrainians have been so courageous for their own democracy, but they're fighting for our democracy and all democracy as well. The rape, the kidnapping, the rest of that has happened by the brutality of the Russian soldiers at the direction of Vladimir Putin. So this is a real assault on our children, our decency, our democracy, and the rest. And we have a moral responsibility to make sure we're doing our share, as the other countries are doing their share. Anyway.
Who do you think is going to be the next speaker?
I don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
One would think the next person in line, Steve Scalise, he's the leader, the number 2 person. He's highly respected in his community and in the Congress.
And lastly, tonight you're celebrated by Mayor Karen Bass, who I know is a good friend of yours. What does she mean to you, and what does this honor here tonight mean to you?
Well, the honor that Karen Bass is bestowing on me this evening is, it's so much. I'm like, Karen, why are you doing this? Well, because you did this, that, and that. Karen Bass is a remarkable figure. I know that the people of Los Angeles know that they elected her mayor. But I can tell you from the standpoint of watching her legislate and lead in the Congress of the United States, we're talking about a very special person. And so for her to be honoring me in this way just is overwhelming to me. And I accept it on behalf of all of my members who made everything possible. It's not about me, it's about us. But I'm so happy for Los Angeles that they have such a... I tell her that. I say, my father was mayor, my brother was mayor, so I know about the job that mayors do.
Sure.
And I said, most people know who the President of the United States is and who the mayor is of their city or town. The rest of us are sort of in a fog somewhere in between there, but they know who the mayor is, and that they would choose her, and she has built this rapport with them, and then the rapport with the other mayors. Just see the synergy of all of that. This is This is a leader where you have a vision about where you want to take your city and your knowledge of the issues that are challenging, whether they're homelessness or hunger, whatever it happens to be, and a strategic thinker about how to get things done, how to bring people together, and then the values of it all. That's Karen Bass. She's a leader.
Well, I know she loves you.
I love her.
And it means a lot for her that you're here tonight,
Yeah.
and it means a lot for us that you're on our show.
I
Thank
appreciate
you so
that.
much,
Thank
Madam
you.
Speaker. Thanks
My
for your
pleasure.
leadership
Hopefully
and
I'll
service
see you
to our
another
country.
time. Thank you.
you very much.
Thank you so much.